In 2019, when Margaret led the National Quality and Patient Safety Team at the HSE in the Republic of Ireland, she won the Person-Centred Practice International Community of Practice Angie Titchen Award. Her prize was to work with me as her critical companion for a year to develop some aspect of her practice. We came gently together by Skype to get to know each other and where we wanted to go. Margaret wanted to use creativity to inquire into the way she was working in her role. She also wanted to know what I wanted from our work together, which pleased me, as I could see that she had understood this basic premise of person-centred practice, thanks, I am sure, to her working with Brenda McCormack and Jan Dewing. A few months later, Margaret came over to England for a critical creative retreat at my home, where we got to know each other at a deeper level, and I was able, through a facilitated walk in nature, to create the conditions for Margaret to flourish and draw out amazing new understandings and insights for her inquiry. This video is about that retreat. It shows the powerful effect of a companion enabling openness to symbolism and metaphor as ways of accessing and holding shared meanings, meanings that deepen understanding and clarify the way forward. And it's fun too.
Okay, so Angie, after that Skype call, then that first Skype call, very quickly we had a critical creative retreat in your home in the Cotswolds.
Indeed.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Yes, and I invited you to my home for the long weekend, the 3 days. I suggested to you to consider it an intentional community where we did everything. We cooked together, we decided what we were going to eat, we prepared our picnics, and we co-created the whole experience for the 3 days. That it wasn't like you were a friend coming for the weekend and a guest in my house. It was an intentional community, and that's a key feature of critical companionship, in that it's, although they often, these companions become friendships, as ours has done. The term companion suggests that it's a journeying alongside together for a while, and then there may be a parting as the companions go their different ways, but also they may come together as friends, which is really what's happened with us.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was beautiful weather. I remember that it was gorgeous, and every day we did a different walk. Walking in nature was something that we did very, as you say, very intentionally. You led the first walk, and we would walk in silence. We'd start at a certain point, and then we'd walk in silence, and then we'd share, and then we'd somehow capture, in some creative way, we would capture the experience that we had just had together. And we did that every day. Yeah.
We capture the essence of the experience and the insights
Yeah.
through creating things together, and through sitting down on a grassy meadow with a stream running nearby, and sharing. And both of us have been writing in our journals, about sort of the images, and I'd stuck some blackberries between mine and squashed them, and then when we were sitting there, some cows cows came around us, and they were so curious, and they became sort of a symbol for us. And it was through the symbols from nature that we were able to make sense of what was coming to us in response to our inquiry question, and it's effortless somehow. It's just this, things seem to arrive at the right time. It's about that timeliness, and the synchronicity, and then the synthesis that happens. And these are all sort of aspects of professional artistry that underpin. It's the more hidden side of critical companionship. It often isn't talked about. We were able to articulate all these things. So we were working on our inquiry question, but I was also articulating what I was doing. I was sharing my practical know-how, my practice wisdom,
Absolutely.
of what I was doing. Just these things that seem very simple, but you're right, they're very intentional. And that makes the difference. It sets a completely different feel about the experience. Critical companionship is fun. And with all my companions, we laugh a lot when we eat it, we do things don't we? You know, we will be talking about things, getting insights when we're having a glass of wine and eating some lovely food that we've prepared or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go on.
That was a key learning for me. It was those shared experiences that gave us language, and um, that gave us a way of describing what was important, and what the hooks that we would use that have stayed with us for the rest of our time working together. Yeah, it was wonderful.
The metaphors became hooks for us all the way through, and the symbols, and we knew instantly what the other meant.
Yeah.
And so we could just deepen our insights into our inquiry.
Yeah, and I think that's probably an important point for people if they haven't, if starting out as critical companions, they'll find what they want to do together, and it's through those shared experiences that they'll find their hooks and their language and their way of doing this.
Exactly. I mean, we're talking about, a sort of more of a critical creativity kind of sort of paradigm, worldview way of doing critical companionship, but everybody will do it differently, according to who they are as people. So we're sharing some of the strategies that we use, but fundamentally the processes and the domains of critical companionship can be used in any kind of sort of companionship, and it's shaped by who you are as a person and what floats your boat. But also, it's important to step out of our comfort zones as well, and that's what critical companions do for each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And Angie, I remember at the end of our retreat then, on our last day, sitting around your kitchen table, and we brought all that we had done for the couple of days together, and to synthesize and to figure out what it meant and to put it together for us. Do you remember that?
I do, and you that was when you were beginning to put together your inquiry question.
It did,
for-
because
for-
yeah,
yeah.
what had come up for me very clearly during the retreat was the amount of embodied knowing that I had about things, and all of these skills and experiences and talents, I suppose, that I had that I hadn't been using, and they were reawakened. And I really started to question how was I using these things in the work that I was doing on the national programme in Ireland. Lorna and myself were co-leading the national programme at that time, and how was I being authentic?
Was that the person-centered practice
Yeah,
program?
the person-centered programme
Yeah.
in Ireland. And you had asked a challenging question that got me thinking as well at some point. How I can't think what the question was.
But what I was trying to get at was I could see a dissonance between the person-centered practice program, whereas the way that you and Lorna had designed the program didn't seem to me to be person-centered. It seemed to be more teacher-centered, more traditional. And so I asked you, I didn't sort of say that straight out, but I asked you questions that helped you to realize that yourself. And it was a real light bulb moment, absolutely you said, oh, I see
Yeah.
what's been happening.
That
Yeah.
was it, because we had been talking about this day that was coming up, and it just wasn't sitting right. And you asked that question, and it was a light bulb moment. So much so that when I came back to Ireland, Lorna and myself had a chat about it, and we got it. We hadn't actually finalized the plans for that day because it wasn't sitting right with us, and
You
it
were
just
putting it off.
changed everything.
You were putting it off, the design of
We
that module.
were, yeah, we just hadn't nailed it. Yeah, and it changed everything. So the work that we were doing was influencing the way that we were working on the national program that time. Yeah.